we have this like very clear vision of what we want to do. Whereas early on, it was just like, how the fuck do we stay alive?
Yeah.
Right now, it's like, okay, it's
one of the guys that I thought you mentioned that was interesting is that Ben Mallah. What's his name? Ben something.
Ben Mallah.
Ben Mallah. Yeah, like his stuff is actually like decently. He's a real fucking dude.
Yeah,
that is very successful. Like that is.
Yeah,
real.
he's not a content creator first.
No.
And the vast majority of people online, or even like Alex Hormozy, like, yes, he historically has been a business operator, but I would argue nowadays he's a content creator first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And even, for example, like, now I could be very wrong, but when it comes to, for example, like Ben Mallah, like he's operating a multi-$100 million real estate business.
Yeah.
And he just brings you along for the ride. It's like, hey, come watch us go look at a couple buildings today and talk to some property managers and figure out what the fuck we should do.
It's usually on the go with him.
It's usually on the go. Yeah. It's actually never on this sort of setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this sort of setting, because it's a little bit different with me, and ironically, I could do the real estate thing. However, I've gotten the portfolio to the point where I don't actually do that kind of shit no more.
Yeah.
I don't actually like go to buildings. I don't like, and not that I like, obviously if I was, I'm assuming Ben Mallah is looking at, tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah. But now his sons do most of the actual, like, now the main guys in terms of like the main business operators, more of like how you would envision like the CEO's role. He's really kind of like, one, tapering it down, and then two, will kind of step in either last minute or like to make a final decision or to help them if they're having a certain problem, or to get his advice. Like that's kind of like where he's at right now, but he's also like in his 60s, right?
Yeah,
so it's a little bit different.
He's also a fucking character, which is hilarious.
Yes, and that definitely helps with his overall thing.
Yeah,
because he's just like absolutely outrageous. So he's just entertaining to watch.
Yeah. So I wonder if the change of setting matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say that like if we could generate now he also has like a videographer that just like fucking follows him around and films all these like types of things, right? So if he's going on a day to fucking check out multiple properties, he'll have the videographer show up his fucking place at 8 a.m. and not leave his side until the end of the day. Now they'll hop on the private jet together, they'll fly over, they have like, and the videos might only be 15-20 minutes long total when all cut together, but the videographer is there for the entire time.
So I don't mind doing that. Like I could do that personally. Like I don't mind vlogging. Whether or not he's comfortable doing it, who knows? It's irrelevant, but I don't mind vlogging myself. I just don't do that type of stuff that often.
Yeah.
I'm not like in the trenches in my real estate game anymore. Like I could be. The problem is like, is that the best use of my time if John's going to look at, a fucking property that I could put up a multi-unit on? Like, is that the best use of my time? I don't know. I'd probably argue probably not, to be honest with you. So at the end of the day, if we're business operators first versus content creators, the right answer is I actually operate my business as I operate my business. The only difference would be we change the setting in which we have our integral meetings.
I think it's going to really depend on kind of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Because BioSteel is 5 months in now. It's still so fresh. You're still very much in the weeds of BioSteel.
Yeah.
How many hours a week right now do you spend working on Canadian Protein? Actually.
1.
See?
and really it's only like...
How many hours a week do you spend working on the golf course?
More, actually.
Okay.
Which is fucking ironic.
Yeah,
it's ironic because it's also newer, right?
Yes.
You got to think like Canadian Protein's 15 years old.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, the whole concept is 15 years old. The golf course, 2 years old.
Yeah.
BioSteel, like 4 months old.
Yeah.
Right. So, what do I spend the most time on? BioSteel. What do I spend the second most? Golf course. What do I spend third? Canadian Protein. What do I spend, the least? Real estate.
Yeah.
Like I actually spend, which is ironic because that's what most people want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And also ironically, your wealth that you've developed has been actually in complete reverse order of those things as well, like up until today. Now, I think the BioSteel has the most opportunity moving forward.
But like what, real estate? You
that
think
most of your wealth has probably come from real estate. You don't think so?
No,
As of like present, well, like Canadian Protein's value, yes, I guess you could say. Yeah, what I'm saying is like of what like because you don't pull
money,
because you don't pull from Canadian Protein.
The money that I used to live, real estate, for sure. Yeah.
See what I mean? Like the most is coming from real estate. Then it's Canadian Protein second, third being actually, well, I don't think you pull $1 from the golf course.
No, I get food, which I even pay for. Like I get a 25% employee discount on the food.
There you go.
Like I think everybody gets that.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, I'll be like, make me a Nashville chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Or a wrap, Nashville wrap or whatever.
So good.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Shout out Coach Golf and Country Club.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Give me one of those wraps.
The head
and I'll
chef
just,
over there, Sean.
Yeah. Give me a wrap and I'll like dip out and forget to pay. Like that's like the extent of it. But what's really helpful too is like I do leverage that place for like our events, like our family events or whatever. I leverage that heavily. However, I still pay for them. So yeah, I'm just there more. I also think it's, it's interesting and it's a physical place. So I kind of go there. Like I actually sometimes go there to check in, also to have a break a little bit here and there,
Well, here's another, I guess, like interesting kind of concept or video is now that BioSteel is settling, right? I would say there's still lots going on. God. Knock on wood.
Get that raw wood right there.
Just raw dog on the wood.
Get that raw wood right there, man.
Yeah.
Knock on that raw wood.
Oh, man. Now that, because obviously it's felt like we haven't even been able to come up to breathe the last couple of months, but now it's like it's settling. We can see like it's getting more and more structured. We can see we have this like very clear vision of what we want to do. Whereas early on it was just like, how the fuck do we stay alive?
Yeah.
Right now it's like, okay, it's already profitable. It's already like we have these good relationships with these retailers. We're already having distribution. We're growing the team. Like there's still a lot of work to get done, but we have some breathing room. So let me ask you this. Now that we've kind of like hit this point in time, how do you see like the portfolio or even like your own, I guess, personal goals in relation to these businesses in 5 years, 10 years?
I think I think somewhere down the line there's going to be a sale. I think that's just a natural course of things.
Yeah.
The sale needs to happen when the brands get to a 9-figure deal, for sure, no question.
Yeah.
Not a 9-figure deal. The brands are producing 9-figure revenue per year. That's what I think, no question.
Yeah.
What I have seen,
because I think there could be a 10-figure exit if you were to wait long enough. I think there could be a 10-figure exit.
What? Like 1 billion, 10. Like in the billions?
Yeah.
Like for everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So we can use that as a target, essentially, which is fucking crazy to think when you actually think of it. But I think the reason why I was asking all of these questions about like, personal branding and everything like that is I'm starting to really see that how important that is to the overall brand itself. Because if we can come up with like a recipe like this that actually works, I do feel like it has a potential to really skyrocket the brands, or at least the attention that the brands get. If I allow for the ability for people to look under the hood of the Brandza, then I think that you organically create a bunch of champions for it, right? Just from me posting about BioSteel, especially on LinkedIn, which is ironic because I hated that platform in the beginning, but now I love it because it's also my fastest growing platform. So did I hate LinkedIn because I didn't get it in the beginning and I wasn't performing well on it? And now I actually like it because now I'm performing well on it. and I've actually been able to figure out what interests people on it. It's also probably the most interesting platform because you get the best quality feedback, which is also very interesting.
Yeah, you read the comments on LinkedIn.
They're not bad. They're actually they're helpful as fuck.
They're usually at least one sentence, usually multiple sentences, sometimes fucking paragraphs. They're very like professional, proper grammar. You have literally like the title and the company usually of the person right underneath their name, so you know whether or not they like are they just fucking Joe Schmo, or you're having the fucking founder and CEO of some big companies that have
shout out to Neutral. He's always in my shit, which is like big supporter, and I've seen him comment on other stuff too. I forget his name, and that's not a good thing, but seems like a great guy, like very supportive of other brands, very supportive of his, like, I love that's actually very interesting, and something that I can see why he's popular and why people like his product, because I feel like top down, if you're that guy and you can build that kind of culture for your brand, and people actually can see like, hey, listen, like the guy from Neutral and the guy from BioSteel, the guy from Canadian Protein, seems like a decent guy. Seems like a average guy, seems like, which I am. I'm a fucking average dude. Like, I think if people can see that, it makes it very relatable. And that's why I feel like these videos are more interesting, because it's organic. And if I get in front of a camera and either try to remember stuff or script it or read a script, that's not going to come through. No. And it's very inauthentic. And like you said, you can have any AI guy do that. You can get these fucking AI avatars, and they can just fucking read anything you want, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's really interesting too, is like, see it, like I'm naturally advertising his product because he seems like a great guy. Like he's always like really rooting for you, and BioSteel, like shit's great, man. Like, and that goes a long way, right? Like, so like you better believe I'm gonna buy his shit now. Like I drink it anyways, but I'm probably gonna. I'm probably
like great product.
So what's ironic is now when I go to buy shit, I'm more than likely going to buy his stuff, because why? He supports my stuff. So building that kind of relationship, at least from an online perspective, is super interesting. Keeps it top of mind. So yeah, like I feel like for our brands moving forward, we really have to look into like, how does this work, and how can people like really get an inside look into what we're doing, so that not only can people relate to what we're doing and us, because we're just average dudes, man. Like at the end of the day, like we're average fucking dudes.